What's up, folks? Stu Myrick, sports guys talking wrestling on the horn and across all the YouTube, Twitch, podcasts, however you hear us. Hope you have football, no Longhorn football. Did have Lake Travis. Lake Travis, once again, successful, defeating Bowie, 52-21, I believe the score was. And it really wasn't that close. So, but hey, new week, right? We've got NXT Halloween Havoc on the screen right now. We've already had a title change as Toxic Attraction won the stairway to hell or staircase to hell or whatever ladder match. And they are the new NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, defeating now former champions Io Shirai and Zoe Stark, as well as Indy Hartwell and Persia Parati. So it was a good match, short, but it was good. We just had Joe Gacy defeat Grayson Waller with the help of Harland. That's again Parker Boudreaux. And they've got Boudreaux or Harlan dressed in like a jumpsuit, very baggy, so you can't see like the definition of his body or anything. I don't know, kind of weird. So, we will go over what happened at Crown Jewel, as well as the fallout on SmackDown and Raw. Yes, we will talk about that title swap between Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. So yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll also recap Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory. Had just about every title change hands on that pay-per-view. The only one that didn't change hands was tag titles. Good Brothers still the Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Champions. And yeah, that ending with Moose coming out, cashing his Call Your Shot Gauntlet trophy, which he had won earlier that night, and defeating the new champion, Josh Alexander. So now Moose is the Impact World Champion. So, wow, what an ending. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk a little AEW as well. We're in the midst of the World Title Eliminator Tournament. Had 3 matches, 3 of the first round matches. The 4th and final one will be tomorrow night on Dynamite. Dynamite returning back to Wednesdays. It'll be live across all time zones. They made that announcement, and I didn't realize it wasn't live across all time zones, but apparently it will be. So 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific. I wonder if that means it's also, I guess it'd be 3 p.m. in Hawaii. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, so had AEW Dark tonight with Too Fast, Too Fuego, with Fuego del Sol and Son of Fuego, who looks suspiciously like the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. But yeah, so we'll talk about that. WWE released their pay-per-view schedule, so we'll talk about that for next year, for 2022. Some interesting tidbits. It did mention, of course, WrestleMania. It is going to be 2 nights at Jerry World at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And tickets go on sale November 12th. So in just over 2 weeks from now for WrestleMania. And 2 nights. I said before that I wasn't going to miss being at AT&T Stadium for WrestleMania. Now, if it's 2 nights, that's quite a bit. I'm not sure if I want to be in AT&T Stadium for 2 nights. Might go and at least see like WrestleCon and some of the indie promotion stuff and just kind of go from there. But maybe not go to WrestleMania just because again, 2 nights in the stadium, a little rough. So We'll talk about the rest of the 2022 schedule. But yeah, now we got Odyssey Jones and the NXT Cruiserweight Champion, Roderick Strong, in the ring with the rest of Diamond Mine surrounding the ring. So suspect Strong will win this. But yeah, it's been good. Hope you've had it. Like I said, hope you've had a good week. We get back to full football this coming weekend. Lake Travis and Aikens, their last home game of the regular season, and for all intents and purposes, last tune-up before the Battle of the Lakes. That's Friday night. Saturday morning, 11 a.m., Longhorns take on Baylor. I'm a little worried about that one. And then Sunday night football, Cowboys travel to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Sunday night football on NBC. That should be a good. I think that might be a good game. It'll be fun to watch. So, but yeah, Roderick Strong, who just got kicked out of the ring by Odyssey Jones. Odyssey Jones is a big dude. Just plow over him. So, and I'll talk to Justin about this when he gets here. He's supposed to be on his way. So last night on Monday Night Raw, we had Keith Bearcat Lee. Now, I have touted forever and ever and ever about how Keith Lee is one of the most unique personalities. Besides the fact he's 300 plus pounds, moves like a cruiserweight, he's just got a vibe about him that is so, I don't know, endearing. It's one of those, it's one of those vibes that, Roderick Strong beating Odyssey Jones. There you go. But yeah, it's just, and now, and we heard about Vince having his issues with Keith, and they've basically turned him into generic big, badass big guy. He comes to the ring, he growls, he yells. I mean, they did the same thing with Otis. Otis was the lovable guy, part of Heavy Machinery, and then, kind of had and did all the stuff, and then they, basically turned him into just, again, generic big badass guy. And kind of like, I don't know, I don't get it. You got a guy with Keith, that has personality for days. He can talk on the mic and everything, and you take that away. You basically turn him into just, big guy that growls. That's it. So, I don't know. It bothers me. So, we got Imperium. They'll be taking on MSK for the NXT Tag Team titles later on tonight. Talking about they've never been more ready. Walter's not there. Yada yada yada. So we'll see what happens later tonight. But the mat is sacred. So Mackenzie Mitchell with some eye do-up stuff. So I guess now we're going to have the women's title match with Mandy Rose taking on Raquel Gonzalez. Let me see. You already got the tag titles with Toxic Attraction. Gigi Dolan and JC Jones or something like that. Anyway, see if they can complete the sweep, get all the gold. Oh, and they got to spin the wheel. And she's got wings too. As Justin the Smash Simmons arrives, fanny pack around his neck. It's okay. I wear mine around my neck too.
Way easier.
Way easier?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, kind of for me too. So I get you. How are you, man?
Oh, pretty tired, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Been doing a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, been pretty much all over the place.
How was
But-
the boxing?
Good. Got to. Yeah, I mean, it was a. There was like what 5 knockouts out of the 6 fights. So, I mean, people got their money's worth.
They weren't like, first round knockouts, were they?
There was a 2-punch knockout. Like he knocked him down in 1 punch, and then he knocked the guy down again after he got back up with the other punch, and that was the end of the fight. It
Uh-huh.
lasted like 30 seconds.
Okay.
But I mean, the guy who won is like some like young hot prospect who would have probably qualified for the Olympic team if he didn't forgo the Olympics because of 2020 and COVID and stuff. So he just
okay.
turned pro.
All right.
But like, Floyd Mayweather's team was out there, TMT,
Yeah.
looking at the event. Floyd's manager was there.
Okay.
They had me talk with the cruiserweight contender, the Beast, Andrew Tabiti.
Okay.
Like, he hasn't boxed since 2019 when he took his only loss. So, if you're a casual boxing fan, like, you would probably have no idea who this guy is. But
Get that.
I think if you look him up on YouTube, though, I think most people would agree he's probably like the fastest cruiserweight, like hand speed wise, as well as foot speed. He said he was working on the jump rope, and I can see why. He jumps rope like a much smaller guy.
Okay.
But this guy's like, the size of a linebacker, essentially.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe not as heavy right now, but
Yeah.
definitely a big guy.
Well, good. I'm glad it went well. So,
Big what? Because
We
you
got-
covered Lake Travis.
got like Travis, got Austin FC. Did not do F1,
Nothing?
FIA, and it was being persnickety, and so I
Really?
said screw it. Yeah.
Wow, they usually
Yeah.
just give them out to anybody.
No, not FIA. No, they're the opposite of that. So yeah, we decided not to do Kodo. So I watched it on TV like most everybody else, and I actually watched it on TV from Q2 Stadium, getting ready for Austin FC and Houston Dynamo.
Oh, that's cool.
Austin FC got a win.
Which they almost lost. at the end.
Strange as it may be. Well, they had the own goal.
Yeah.
It was, and I forget his name, but I mean, he was.
It happens.
Yeah, I mean, he was kicking it like he was going to just kick it out of the bounds, but it went in the goal instead. So, but all in all, 2-1. So, Austin FC gets 3 points. They face They face FC Dallas tomorrow night, I think.
Yeah.
So, in Frisco.
Copa Tejas.
Yes, the Copa Tejas. So.
Yeah, people try to make that a big deal online. I'm just like,
Well, they're the bottom 3 teams in the, I guess, Western Conference of MLS. So
yeah, it's a
Not exactly.
consolation prize of
Yeah.
a consolation prize.
But yeah, we'll go over Crown Jewel. We'll go over. Sorry, I didn't have my printer ran out of ink, so
Oh, that's all good.
yeah, we'll do Crown Jewel and the Fallout. As we've got the party at NXT.
I mean, obviously,
D'Angelo.
is this like their Halloween party?
Yes, because it's Halloween Havoc.
Nice. What was I gonna tell you? Oh yeah, man, I'm cool with you just doing what you normally do. Just steer the ship. I'm here for the ride.
There's Frankie Monet. And there's Von Wagner and his giant forehead.
But who's the beard guy supposed to be? Magnum TA?
I don't know.
Because I mean,
No, that's Kyle. That's Kyle O'Reilly.
yeah. But I mean, who's he dressed as?
Who's he dressed as? I have no idea.
I mean, he had the badge. He had the Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah. You got Cameron Grimes and somebody.
Well, I mean, you have Cameron
Whatever.
guys in a NASA suit. And
Cameron
somebody-
Grimes, yeah, in a spacesuit.
And whoever somebody is dressed as Hugh Hefner, essentially.
I guess.
Oh no, who's dressed as Elvis?
That's I don't know. I don't know all the new faces yet. So
Yeah, and there's this big dude that's dressed like Freddie Mercury.
yeah, okay, that's what. Okay, yeah, sure. All right, let's.
Yeah, because he has the arm thing and the.
Oh
and the
man,
belt.
slammed him through the table. All the snacks.
He's all shook up. You get it? I was like, why is he shaking like that? And it's like, oh, I get it. He's all shook
You're
up.
all weak.
3
drink minimum. Try the veal. All right, let's get going.
This is the Boogeyman, and you're listening to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. 1, 2, I'm coming for you.
When they're not covering the sports world, they're talking about the world of professional wrestling.
It's Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
Now, with Justin Simmons, here's Stu Myrick.
It is Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. Stu Myrick, Justin the Smash Simmons. It's Halloween week.
I know. I feel like I let you down. Should have came dressed up as at least some type of wrestler.
Oh, Lord, no.
I mean, I could even came as my alter ego. I still have the tights and the jacket and stuff.
We tape this on Tuesday nights as always, and we have NXT Halloween Havoc on the TV, and Raquel Gonzalez, the NXT Women's Champion, just came to the ring on a motorcycle, mind you, looking badass. That was pretty cool.
I'm just doing a disservice to the ones that watch us live on Twitch.
I know,
and
yeah,
YouTube.
but yeah. In case you don't know, if you're listening to us on the Horn, we do video live stream Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. on Twitch and YouTube. Twitch at SGTW ATX. YouTube, just search Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
And you get extras.
You get all the extras because you get to hear us during the break. So, but we're going to be probably the last ones to recap WWE Crown Jewel, their latest venture to Saudi Arabia. Overall, it was a good pay-per-view. Nothing of like substance really happened, but it was a good pay-per-view.
I mean, it definitely had a lot of high points though, and I would argue to say that that's definitely a top 4 style pay-per-view, like with the amount of fireworks and pyro and everything that they put into the event.
That was, the whole production thing. But as far as the wrestling goes, it was good. It was enjoyable. You didn't have any titles change hands, but all in all, like I said, it was a good pay-per-view.
But that was for good reason, and I don't think the titles were really the focus of this event so much more than like King of the Ring and
The Queen's Crown.
Yeah, I think those felt like had a lot of importance in this particular like event.
I would, as far as match of the night goes, I've got 2 or 3. I guess
that's
I'd
a good
go
thing,
through.
though, right?
I would Edge Seth Rollins. That was a great match. Hell in a Cell. A lot of brutality in that match.
A lot of creativeness.
Yeah. At the end, Edge gaining the win, which I'll be honest, I think I picked. Yes, I think we both picked Edge.
Yes,
but I'll be honest, I was a little surprised.
We both picked Edge, but we also picked it to blow off the feud. And
right.
That's exactly what it ended up doing.
That's right.
So,
and we'll get to that.
So good booking on this part.
Yeah.
All the way through.
I would say the King of the Ring finals with Xavier Woods and Finn Balor. That was a great match.
Man, they really put on a show.
They did.
And it was like, oh, this is what happens when you let the guys that don't get to work a lot against each other work against each other.
They did. Good match. Xavier Woods realizing the lifelong dream. All hail King Woods.
Yeah, who would have thought they actually let that happen?
I know.
I mean, I even picked against him because of this.
I was like, well, and that's the thing. Yeah, I picked Xavier, but I was thinking, man, they're gonna screw me over. No, they actually did it. So kudos to them. Xavier Woods, the new King of the Ring. And then I would actually say Big E and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, I mean that was
a great match. That was it was brutality, some good near falls in the end. Big E, of course, triumphs, sends Drew McIntyre to SmackDown. So
yeah, that too. So that also helps.
It was good. The Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar match was interesting. it went a little longer than I thought it would, but it wasn't. That wasn't a bad thing.
No,
it was good. I mean, because even with Brock, you seem to tend to maybe limit his minutes, but I think it was fine. The deal at the end where Paul Heyman, he's torn. He tosses the belt and it lands back in the middle between Lesnar and Reigns.
Wasn't that good? That was so good. Like, he must have practiced that throw a few times. That was perfect.
But in the end, the Usos come out, super kick Lesnar. Roman hits Brock with the title belt, pins him for the 1, 2, 3.
As it should be, though.
Yeah, Roman Reigns still the Universal Champion. Brock looked none too happy, which then led 24 hours later, well, I guess 36 hours later, to SmackDown.
Oh, that's right, because they. Oh, I forgot about SmackDown.
Brock went off.
I was just thinking about Raw. My bad.
I mean, he was tossing people around. He was, just absolute, wrecking house.
Man, SmackDown might have been way more interesting than anything else that happened, in the sense of like all the heat, all the beef.
Yeah, and we'll get to that here in a second. But yeah, that thing, of course, led Brock Lesnar being, quote, indefinitely suspended.
Yeah.
It just means he's going to be off TV till probably at least Royal Rumble.
But I'm okay with that.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean,
at least
you knew
give
that was
him
going
a
to
reason.
Yeah, this is more than just we're just going to have him off TV. Now you got at least a storyline filler. So that's cool. I liked it. Yeah. Okay. Poor Adam Pearce.
Oh, I know he had
Adam
to take
Pearce,
that.
who, by the way, in case you didn't know, Adam Pearce, former, I think 5-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
I know at least 3 for sure. So yeah.
I mean, and he took both those F5s like a champ. I mean, it split his pants leg.
I was like, man, they really sold it. I was like, that was a nice touch. Definitely a nice touch. It looked like he was in an explosion.
Oh, it did. It did. But yeah, kudos to Adam.
Let me cast my real fast and try to wind this in, because I have 2 questions.
Okay.
So how did you feel about the no holds bar match between Bobby Lashley and Goldberg, since we didn't talk about that yet?
It was good. It was fine.
It was hard hitting, exactly what I expected. I was surprised that he was able to hold them up in the jackhammer for as long as he did.
He did, yeah. Of course, at the end, they were up on the entrance ramp, and he,
speared him.
Off the ramp onto the table. Gets the 1, 2, 3 there near the entrance ramp. I thought it was fine. It probably went a little longer than I would have, but not much. It was kind of one of those. I can't. It wasn't like obvious that it should have been shorter. Maybe a minute or 2, but nothing. I wouldn't.
Like,
so I liked it.
Like, he really gave a good performance.
He did. He did.
Really
and both of them did.
I mean, Lashley looked great, though.
Yeah,
I'm thinking he should be back in the title picture here soon. But how about the winner between Doudrop and Selena Vega?
I think you expect that. I mean,
she did hit that code red. That was looking pretty sweet.
And then you followed up on Raw Monday night. You get the rematch. She hits Doudrop with the scepter and gets the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, because you got the rule breaker, you got the heel as the queen. So okay, fine. I mean, at least it led to Xavier getting the king. So hey, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. So
at least they have a storyline going through the pay-per-view, which is nice.
Yes, this is true. Speaking of SmackDown and King Xavier, his coronation, fantastic. Kofi Kingston doing all the stuff, and it was everything you wanted.
Exactly,
I mean, just fantastic.
So creative.
All right, let's get to the shenanigans at the end. The main event spot. And they actually announced this beforehand. They promoted that it was going to be a title switch ceremony or something. Charlotte Flair, who was the Raw Women's Champion, who was drafted to SmackDown. Becky Lynch, the SmackDown Women's Champion, drafted to Raw.
Yeah.
Now, if you believe the rumor innuendo, and there was a lot of reports about this, Charlotte did not want to do this. Thought it made the championship look weak, made the champion look weak. Probably went about it the wrong way, but I'm not so sure I blame her.
I'm gonna say, but you can't hate on it. I mean, you've been like the first person to tell me that this was going to happen for one.
Yeah.
And two, that you weren't happy that it was going to
No.
happen.
No.
So-
It's the dumbest thing. Actually, SmackDown was a great show until that.
So in like a real roundabout way, you and Charlotte Flair kind of agree on this, apparently.
Oh, I totally agree with Charlotte.
Yeah. And I'm like, I can't hate her for it. And
They
apparently there might have been like a mishap with like how the titles are supposed to be given to each other, whatever. But I'm like, I'm cool with it. It came out looking great to me because I'm like, oh, now you can tell there's disdain. Like Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart style disdain.
Yeah, but the problem is this disdain was for real, not storyline. Carried to the back. Apparently they had a shouting match. Look, they could have solved this real easily. Have Bianca beat Becky have Bianca beat Charlotte Monday on Raw, then have Sasha win the triple threat at Crown Jewel.
And
then you got two people on the right brand with the right title, and case closed. But no.
And if you want to go back to some of those reports, it was also at least, supposedly reported that Charlotte had mentioned that, hey, I don't mind dropping it to the EST because she's clearly like,
yeah, there was like conflicting stories about that. As far as whether she was really willing to drop it, I tend to believe so. At least it would have made the championship. It wouldn't have made the championship look weak. But no, instead you had this thing, Sonya Deville in the middle, and
I forgot about
Charlotte
her.
is, basically tosses the belt, and they're doing the whole tug thing, and Becky wants to do the Becky two belts thing. I mean, just a absolute mess.
I know, but this is when pro wrestling is its best. It's when the backstage stuff, spills on screen.
Okay, Vince Russo.
No, but I mean, that's when it was at its most popular.
Yeah, the problem is we didn't need it. We didn't need that.
I know, but
we just needed them to. Well, we again needed Bianca to beat Charlotte on Monday to get the Raw title, then have Sasha win the SmackDown title at Crown Jewel. So you had Sasha, who was on SmackDown with the SmackDown title, Bianca, who's on Raw with the Raw title. Case closed. You wouldn't have had this, mess.
Oh, I mean, I get where you're getting at with that completely, and you've been spouting that for weeks because you foresaw this coming. It's just that there's a whole generation that didn't grow up watching wrestling the way that you did and the way that I did. So, like, it is the backstage stuff, the personal life stuff that is the most interesting. It's kind of like watching. There's a lot of people that watch the NBA that don't watch the games, but they keep up with the players because they like to know what's going on in their lives.
But again, that
like
just,
celebrities,
because
these guys are like celebrities.
I said, okay. I mean. So you're saying forget booking, just have all the backstage stuff come to the ring?
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that since this looks like it looks like there was clearly animosity between the two already, and this just kind of boiled over. So this makes it even better. It's like when Edge had to go against Matt Hardy. I mean, that had a real personal feel to it, obviously, and it gave us some great matches.
But
same thing with Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
Difference was, yeah, but the difference was Edge and Matt Hardy were still professional in the ring.
I would.
Charlotte and Becky were not professional. That was totally unprofessional. Quite honestly,
it was just an interview phase. But I'm sure if it was a match, I think that they would take care of each other, regardless of how much animosity there would be.
Be that as may, it was a total mess. It ruined what was a really good SmackDown.
Ruined.
But I mean, we'll see. You got them. You got them on the different brands, and so whatever. Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins. So you start Raw with, what was it? Seth comes out. He wants a shot at the title. Then here comes Rey Mysterio. Then here comes, who was it? Was it Kevin Owens and then Finn Balor?
Yeah.
And so they decided to do a ladder match at the end. And at the end, Seth Rollins wins the ladder match. He is the number one contender for the WWE Championship.
Is he the best worker now?
What do you mean? As far as what?
Main event, there's Shawn Michaels of present day. Wouldn't you say it's Seth Rollins? And I'm not saying that because Kurt Angle had said that earlier this week, but I mean, it seems like a pretty fair comparison.
I don't know. Oh, we got to. But
oh wow, upset.
Yeah, Mandy Rose, the new NXT Women's Champion. Raquel Gonzalez got whacked in the back by a shovel thanks to a druid. Of course, he'll probably end up being one of the other Toxic Attraction girls. I don't know if he's the best worker. He's definitely up there. So there has been a little bit of a line of thinking over the last 24 hours, where because Seth mentioned something about, facing the Universal Champion Roman Reigns, that they will find a way to put the WWE title on Seth in time for Survivor Series. I really hope not. We can't have Big E have that short of a reign.
No, you can't, but I can totally see that happening, and then he gets beat by Roman, and then, Big E wins it at day 1 to get ready for the road to WrestleMania, which starts...
I really hope not. Well, remember, the road to WrestleMania starts at Royal Rumble.
Exactly. But,
So-
day 1 is only like 20 days beforehand, and I'm sure we're going to talk about the release schedule of the WWE
Yeah, we will in a
pay-per-view.
second. But anyway, yeah, and then we mentioned Queen Zelina had her coronation, talking about how nasty she's going to be and yada, 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 and the whole thing with Dewdrop. All right, let's find out who the druid was. Okay, so it wasn't one of the Toxic Attraction girls. And we unmask, and it is Dakota Kai with pink hair now. Okay,
I'm
sure.
surprised you even recognized her. I couldn't even tell you who it was.
Yeah, this is Dakota Kai. Also because I read today that she was going back to NXT.
Oh, did she turn on her ex-teammate, essentially?
Yes.
Right?
She turned months ago, but, back when it was still NXT instead of NXT 2.0. So anyway. All right, so WWE has announced their 2022 pay-per-view schedule. Schedule is as follows. Saturday, January 1st will be the day 1 pay-per-view at State Farm Arena, Atlanta. Saturday, January 29th, Royal Rumble at the Dome at America Center in St. Louis. Saturday and Sunday, April 2nd and 3rd, WrestleMania at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, not Dallas. Sunday, May 8th, pay-per-view, doesn't have a name on it, at the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, Rhode Island. Sunday, June 5th, it says pay-per-view, no name yet, at the Allstate Arena in Chicago. Saturday, July 2nd, Money in the Bank at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Saturday, July 30th, SummerSlam at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, home of the Tennessee Titans. Saturday, September 3rd, or Sunday, September 4th, pay-per-view at TBD. And then Saturday, November 26th, Survivor Series at the TD Garden in Boston. So, a couple of notes to mention. First of all, and it actually does say, in addition, this is from the press release, in addition to the events above, pay-per-views taking place in February and October will be announced in the near future. Most expect those will be the 2 Saudi Arabia shows. So
Yeah.
that'll fill that out. So that means no pay-per-view in March, no pay-per-view in December of 2022.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
So,
Don't have to have pay-per-views every month.
as we said, they have not named the pay-per-views for May or June. The September 3rd, September 4th, that's Labor Day weekend. So same weekend as AEW All Out.
Mm-hmm.
B, the prevalent theory is that that's going to be a UK pay-per-view. And that would mark the 30th anniversary of when SummerSlam was in London.
That would be awesome because
it'll be
that crowd would be into it, and they have the performers besides just the British Bulldog this time around.
Yeah.
That can really get some
Maybe
nice
give some-
homegrown innovation.
Yeah, give a little love to NXT UK. But interesting. Also, outside of the May and June pay-per-view, all the pay-per-views are on Saturday. Well, and then WrestleMania's a 2-day, but all the other pay-per-views are on Saturdays, not Sundays. That's a switch.
I'm okay with that though,
I'm
especially
kind
for
of okay
kids.
with it. Yeah.
I always hated that as a kid, trying to watch these WWF pay-per-views and they were running late and then like having to get up to go to school on Monday. I mean, it's a little thing that we probably don't have to worry about because we're adults, but
Right. Right. But yeah, it's interesting that they're going to be on Saturdays outside of the You have WrestleMania will be a Saturday and a Sunday 2-day event at Jerry World. We said a few months ago that we were going to be there. We're going to be 2-day event. I'm not so sure I want to be in Jerry World for 2 days.
Yeah, I'm not too thrilled about having to, double spend on everything just to kind of like park again and to fight the traffic twice. And like that's the thing that I'm thinking why they think this is a good idea. And I'm sure that the venues that they're taking this to will probably think it's a good idea because they get double the money for one event now.
Right. And it's not like anything else is happening in the first weekend of April in AT&T Stadium. So I can see it. New Japan does it every year with now they do it with Wrestle Kingdom. So why not? I was listening to Wrestling Observer Live with Brian Alvarez and Mike Sempervive, and Brian was saying, and I tend to agree with him, that because it's 2 nights, you're not going to get a sellout. In fact, he says 50,000 each night. I'm going, it might be a little more than that.
I just really got to think about the percentage that are diehard because we've met those percentage that are diehard WWE fans.
Right.
Like the ones that are spending money that come overseas. Because this is WrestleMania. And I'm not sure how the restrictions are going to look by that point in time.
True.
But if those people that have been cooped up over in Europe or other countries that haven't been able to travel are able to travel by then, I can totally see the WWE making their money back because as long as those people
I'm not saying they won't make their money, but I'm not sure that it would be a total sellout.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Like when 32 happened, we were there.
Yeah, that was 70.
That was
plus.
like, well, I would say it was probably upward. It was in the 90s.
I mean, I was in the nosebleed, so I can tell you all those seats were full.
I was in the press box, so that was in the 90s, though. I'm just not sure. I'm thinking it'll probably be around 70, maybe 70,000
each night.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
You think they can hit 100 total though? 100,000 total for the
they'll
2
hit.
days
Yeah,
easily?
Of course, because it's 2 nights. But I'm thinking it'll be probably 70,000 each night.
I mean, there's going to be like those hardcore fans that are just not going to miss out.
But
on
how many hardcore are there going to be?
That's what I was thinking. I'm thinking at least 10% of that crowd has to be hardcore because I mean, you know how much those seats cost.
Yeah,
for the chair.
No kidding. They are very pricey. So anyway, that's a look at the pay-per-view schedule. Interesting dates. Interesting Saturday. Hey, we'll see. By the way, we mentioned WrestleMania. Tickets for WrestleMania at AT&T Stadium go on sale Friday, November 12th. So just a little over 2 weeks from now. Get your tickets now.
I know you don't got a lot of time to be on the fence about this, do you? Got to make a decision soon.
Well, I mean, if you're going to go, like I said, I'm not sure. Again, I'm not sure you'll be in danger of missing out.
Well, it's not just like going to the show, but it's just all the other arrangements that had to be made to travel.
Well, now, yeah, I'll go up to DFW area and do the indie shows and do WrestleCon and maybe hit those.
That would be interesting to see, though. I'm interested to see how healthy the indie scene will look here in the state. How many people are going to try to run Texas during that week?
Oh, there'll be a few. We're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, Impact Wrestling also had a pay-per-view. We will talk about that as well as some AEW. That's coming up next on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. So you got Carmelo Hayes and Trick. Oh, and we got what's his name? I still got to learn these names. There's Gargano and Dexter and the Zombie Ref.
I was going to say, no, you don't. They'll be gone by 3 months.
Yeah, exactly. Chase, I forget. Anyway, so they're trying. So basically, trying to find Carmelo Hayes' North American title, the title belt. Although they won't say belt, but they're in a haunted house.
You can say title though, right?
You can say title, just can't say belt.
Gotcha. Trying to still work on my
silly
WWE vernacular. You never know when it'll come in handy.
Yeah, right.
I'll be like, yes, sir, Vince. Yes, sir, Mr. McMahon. I will not say belt.
Did you hear the thing? What was it? Renee Paquette, former.
Yeah.
About how Vince yelled at her. She said something which was totally true, but Vince basically just chewed her ass out.
Yeah.
And I think she said that that was when she knew she was done. So, interesting. So, yeah, meanwhile, we were in this haunted house thing. Oh, more scary stuff. Boo.
I
It is
mean,
Halloween.
Are they just using the leftover props from Undertaker's house or what?
It's from the Enter the Undertaker. Or,
Is it a mansion? What
yeah,
was it?
the Netflix thing. Have you seen that yet?
Nah.
I saw it. Ah, there's the belt.
Did you play along? Is it
I did play
AMA?
along. Yes, I did play along. It was good. It was pretty cool. I mean, it's what you expect. But
Answer me this: is there nothing but good endings? Are there bad endings?
oh no, they're bad endings.
Oh,
They're
are
yeah,
they really?
they
Okay.
yeah, there's but there are good endings as well. So anyway, all right. So Carmelo's got his title back. So but there's Johnny and Dexter.
Oh, I was trying to figure out what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be. I don't know about those guys. They're just both being Dexter, but like the other guys are supposed to be the dudes from Bad Boys,
Sure.
right? Martin Lawrence and
I
Will
guess.
Smith, because they're both cops.
No, they're not cops.
They're wearing the body armor with the
No,
badge.
those are just vests.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's do segment 2. Got to mute. Sports guys talking wrestling on the horn. Stu Myrick, Justin Smash Simmons. Before we get into Impact Wrestling, let's talk a little AEW. We had Cody Rhodes, Malachi Black 3, and the end of the trilogy. Cody finally gets the win. Little bloody, but in the end, Cody gets his hand raised.
Well, you know what I'm going to ask you, right?
What's that?
I
Ask me.
mean, like everybody else was saying on social media. Was that the right call, though?
I think so. If you look at the story, look at the stuff that happened with, Arn trying to get him, refocused, and they had the thing at the Rhodes Wrestling Academy. It wasn't the Nightmare Factory; it was Rhodes Wrestling Academy, and doing all that. Yeah, I think it was the right call. Sure. It was. I mean, it wasn't a squash or anything. It was, he just caught him in the right moment and pinned him 1, 2, 3. So sure, the other thing is I don't get. So apparently, there's a lot of fans were booing, and I don't get why. I'm not saying that because I don't understand it.
No, and that's why I'm asking you if you thought it was the right move, because a lot of fans, the way that they saw it, from what I gather, from what I've read, is that like, hey, you had Malachi come in, right? And he's supposed to be your new hot free agent, and you put him in this, this big time feud going against Cody,
Right.
right? You've already had 2 matches. That kind of should have been the blow off, but no, here's the third, and now you have him lose. So it's just kind of like, so if that's the end of the trilogy, you kind of killed this push. Or like, did you feel that he was already powerful enough that he could take a loss and it wouldn't matter here?
I think he could take the loss.
Because this is clearly not how other fans
Now,
felt.
and look, wrestling fans, we've said before, they're great. They're also fickle. So I don't know. Look, I don't know. I don't get it. If fans are upset at Cody for whatever, I think it's silly, but all right, whatever. Bryan Danielson, Eddie Kingston advanced in the World Title Eliminator Tournament. You had Bryan Danielson beating Dustin Rhodes. Great match.
Yeah, I was going to say, fun to watch.
Hell of a match. Yeah, kudos to Dustin on that one. Hopefully I'll see him this weekend. I'll chat with him about it. And then Eddie Kingston getting the win over Lance Archer. Best wishes to Lance, by the way. See him land on his head.
Yeah,
Man.
that was pretty scary.
But yeah, so Yeah, so Lance Archer, best wishes to him. Land on his head. You know, they had him. They checked him out. He was upset that the match couldn't finish the way he wanted it to, but May, Kingston. So we'll have, let's see, Orange Cassidy won on Rampage. He will take on the winner of either. Who was it? It's John Moxley and number 10 from the Dark Order. Which, if you're listening to us on the horn, has already happened. But anyway, yeah.
Is that Vance?
Yeah,
Vance?
Preston Vance, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
That would be a huge win for his career if he can continue on to the event.
All right, Impact Wrestling held their signature pay-per-view Bound for Glory this past Sunday. Jordan Grace, congratulations, Jordan Grace. She becomes the first digital media champion.
Yeah, I was
interesting belt, and I guess that's going to be kind of like a intergender, multi-person. Men and women can vie for it because they had men and women, in the tournament. So
it seems like something that they were vying with when they had switched the Impact World Title onto Tessa and seeing what they could do with it. And I think they kind of took some of those plans and used it for this.
Yeah. So anyway, you had the Inspiration, the two women formerly known as the Iconics.
Is that how they said it?
The Inspiration. Anyway, they defeated Havoc and Rosemary to win the Knockouts Tag Team Championships. I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm okay with it.
You okay?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna,
I'm kind of okay, but it just seemed like it's kind of textbook new shiny thing. Let's have them win. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like, it's better than having them lose and lose clean.
The one I'm really proud of, Trey Miguel defeating Steve Macklin and El Fantasmo. Trey Miguel, the new X Division champion. Man, I couldn't have been happy for him. I was so happy for him.
Well, of course. You always wondered how his career was going to pan out after leaving, like, the Rascals and the other two splitting.
Well, you look at the Rascals, you got, now, two of them, now MSK,
yes,
the NXT Tag Team Champions, and now Trey Miguel's got the X Division champion. So they all got gold.
Yeah, it's good
Fantastic.
to see that all of them, have progressed onward and upward
Absolutely.
with this new part of their careers.
Could not be happier for him, for Rico Trey, as I like to call him. You saw Heath and Rhino get back together.
Expected.
They beat Doring and Diener from Violent by Design. That was expected, but hey, it was a nice spot. You had the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. Moose getting the win.
Yeah.
What do you think of them bringing back the Kiss Demon from WCW?
That was so random. Now,
it was random, wasn't it?
Yeah. Now, there's been many other people that have played the Kiss Demon. Some of them deceased now, but who just that was the most random callback.
And I assume that was Dale Torberg who played him in WCW.
He played him in WCW, but he also had the Renegade play him a couple of times in WCW. Obviously, the Renegade's
well,
deceased.
I think it's Dale Torberg. Anyway, yeah, Kiss Demon showing up in the Gauntlet. But yeah,
that was so random though.
The Good Brothers by hook and crook defeating who was it? Hikulea, Chris Bay, and Finjuice. The one title that did not change hands. So Good Brothers still the Impact World Tag Team champions. Mickey James, our friend, good friend of ours. She is, I think this is her 9th or 10th world title.
Something
the new
like that.
New Impact Knockouts champion, defeating Deonna Purrazzo.
I mean, that was cool though.
I was surprised. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I really saw that was just a challenger they brought in for a special attraction.
Yeah.
I wonder how much that means that she's really going to put time into this because, I mean, I thought she had a lot of commitments with the NWA as well. So,
I think she still does. So
I'm interested to see. But obviously, it seems that Impact has no problem with their title showing up on other shows. So It's all good, right?
And then the main event, which was just spectacular for all the right reasons. First, you had Josh Alexander, Christian Cage, hell of a match.
Yeah.
In the end, Josh Alexander gets Christian Cage to tap out. Josh Alexander, the new Impact Wrestling World Champion, for about 2 minutes.
The twist.
Then the swerve comes because Moose comes out, cashes in his Call Your Gauntlet trophy, which he had just won that night. Spear, 1, 2, 3, and now Moose is the world champion.
New York Minute.
I tell you what, yeah, it doesn't last long, but hey, interesting pay-per-view. And it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun to watch. We will see what happens. They've done some tapings, but we will see how things transpire over the next coming weeks. Impact Wrestling Thursday nights, I believe, on Access TV.
I mean, how do you take that? Like, knowing that you're going to win the world title only for it to be yanked away
I
from
know.
you right after.
And on top of that, you had your wife and your son in the ring.
Like, it was a big moment. Like, professionally, you've been
I
to the
know.
mountaintop. It's like, that's so cruel.
I know. That's just, yeah. But
And, like,
hey.
does he get to be a part? That's the big question. Is he going to be part of the storyline going forward? You would hope so.
Yeah, you would hope so.
I mean,
I know that. So, and I won't spoil the ending, but apparently at one of the tapings, he wrestled Minoru Suzuki.
Okay.
So,
that would be
that'd
cool
been
to
fun.
see.
That would be
but,
fun.
I mean, it's still no world championship, though.
By the way, Suzuki, he said that he is finishing up his tour of the U.S. He's heading back to Japan. So,
yeah, I saw that.
but yeah, got to see him in, New Japan Strong, got to see him in Impact, saw him in AEW, GCW. He's done some indies. I mean, he has made the rounds.
It's kind of
So-
funny. He almost got treated like an old school NWA world champion, where
Yeah.
everybody was just kind of like helping him pay his way so he could get to the
Right.
next event, so everybody could get a piece of him. It was really cool to see.
By the way, they announced their next pay-per-view, Impact did, Hard to Kill, January 8th, 2022. It'll be in Dallas. I might have to see if I can make it to
I was
that
going
one.
to say that would probably be a pretty good pay-per-view,
Yeah.
though. They've been pretty
I was
spot
at,
on.
let's see, I was at Hard to Kill, I guess it would have been 2019. But yeah, that was, and it was good. That was a good pay-per-view, a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to hopefully be at that one. New Japan Pro Wrestling finished up the G1 Climax. The finals was Kazuchiko Okada taking on Kodo Ibushi. Unfortunately, Ibushi injured his shoulder. So Okada wins. He has won the G1. He gets the shot.
Yeah, when you say injured his shoulder, you mean like injured and can no longer compete through the match. Like they had to call it.
Yeah, they had to stop the match. It was
That was just a really odd space to be in, because it's like they were having a really fine match, right? Then he goes down, and then like you see the ref checking on him. Obviously, he's still selling in the corner and stuff, and then it's just like there's no other way to finagle this to where you can send everybody home happy. You're just gonna have to go with what happened, and that's it.
Yeah.
There's your champion.
Yeah, New Japan issued a statement. On October 21st, G1 final, Kodo Ibushi suffered an injury in the ring that led to the match being stopped. After treatment from ringside medical staff, he was taken for a thorough evaluation. The evaluation revealed a right anterior dislocation of the shoulder and joint lip damage. Recovery is expected to take 2 months.
Oh, only 2 months?
2 months.
That's
So that
nice.
would put him in time for Wrestle Kingdom.
I mean, that's nice. I was fearing that he had an injury similar to like Finn Balor, where it was like, oh, you're going to be out with a shoulder injury for like 9 months to a year.
Yeah. No, he says 2 months. So
But
I
even
mean, if that's the
then-
case, yeah. I mean, maybe he can still make Wrestle Kingdom, and then, I mean, I think Okada wants to face him again.
I mean, I think that's what the people want to see.
So it could be where, like, say, I heard this booking today, which made sense. So I have Shingo and Will Ospreay for the world title, Okada and Ibushi, and then the winners face each other the next day at the Tokyo Dome.
Oh, the second day?
Yeah,
That would be cool.
that would be good.
Have you seen that Okada's wearing the old school IWGP belt?
Yes, and he had made a statement. It was at the press conference following the G1 win, where instead of the briefcase, he wanted to carry what they call the V4 IWGP Heavyweight Championship belt. And so apparently he is. So that's what he's carrying in lieu of a briefcase.
That's his contract.
Right. He's supposed to defend the right to challenge against Tama Tonga from Guerrillas of Destiny I think, in the next few weeks. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, and I think a lot of people want to see that belt come back.
That's true though. It's a much nicer looking belt.
Yeah, it is a nice belt.
So
It really
I wouldn't be opposed to having Okada challenge for the title, win the title, and then like merge it back into the V4, so you could be.
Yeah, but then what do you do with the? I mean, do you have that one as the quote world heavyweight title, or do you bring back the Intercontinental title?
Just make the new one the Intercontinental title. Boom.
Okay.
Done. Or just give it to the highest bidder and just forget that it ever happened, like the WCW International title.
Yeah, I could see that, I guess. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, nobody ever questioned what happened to it. They just merged it into the world title, and boom,
Yeah.
there you go, done.
Yeah. I guess so. We're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we'll let you know what's happening in independent wrestling this coming weekend and a few other notes. You're listening to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling, and you're listening to The Horn, where Austin talks wrestling. There they fly.
Double dive.
I guess it's a lumberjack match. Well, no,
Yeah,
it's not a
no.
lumberjack because they're just standing there.
Oh no, that's exactly what happened. It's supposed to be a lumberjack match.
Yeah, but they're just standing there. They're not tossing them back in the ring. I mean, lumberjack match, you're supposed to toss the guys back in the ring, right?
Yeah, I guess because you just all got taken out right now, though. That's the only thing I could think of.
Well, you had Briggs and Stratton, or Briggs and Jensen, or whatever their names, toss Imperium back in the ring. So
I keep on forgetting that Imperium is there now. It's like, now I just wonder, when is Walter going to appear? Because, I mean, that's the only logical ending to all of this, right?
when does Walter appear?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's been said. He has said time and time and time and time and time and time again, he does not want to leave Europe. So I don't know if he will.
I know, but he needs to. I mean,
Well,
we
need or not, doesn't matter.
the American fans deserve to see this guy on an everyday basis, at least for a year. Like, that's all I really want. I want him to run America for a year and let him just go against all the big baddies, and then go from there.
Well,
So,
anyway, I don't know.
if you're
I mean,
calling-
I'd like to see him, sure, but he doesn't. Apparently, he doesn't want to leave Europe. So
Hey, since this is the in between, I guess this would be the best time to ask you, because we're probably going to run out of time here. But
what's that?
Bearcat Lee.
You know, I
How
was
you
going.
feeling about that?
I'll be honest. We know that Vince had a problem or whatever with the way Keith Lee was presented.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of the same thing as Damian Priest last night.
Oh yeah.
You know, they
good.
changed his entrance, and he's no longer the Archer Infamy. And apparently, something happened that he flipped and started pumping. I mean, Keith, it's kind of like with Otis. Otis was a great character, lovable, all that good stuff, and then you put him Alpha Academy, cut his hair, and you become generic badass big guy.
Yeah.
And they've kind of done that with Keith.
Yeah.
And Keith deserves. I mean, now if Keith wants this, then okay, more power to him. To me, it's not that entertaining.
The thing is, though,
He is much more entertaining as bask in his glory, Keith Lee.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but we all know that, like, in WWE, it's just like the NFL. It's like, yeah, you might have been like a prime quarterback star, and yeah, you might have had a good year in the league, like Tim Tebow, but can you consistently do it? Like, if we ask you to make changes, can you go with it? And it's like, that's what the WWE is. It's like, hey, we're going to give you some stuff that we just thought of like 2 seconds ago, and we know you're going to make it work because you're talented. And if you don't get this over, you're horrible.
Sure, but I like I said, I think
That's
it's
how it is. It's so ruthless, though.
yeah. I'm not crazy about it because all he does is come out, growl, scream, and pummel his opponent.
Now let me ask this though, because I think there's a lot of people that get upset when their favorite indie darling ends up in WWE, and one of the first things that they bring up when that does happen is that, oh, they cut down his moveset or their moveset. because it could be a she, So it's like, oh, they cut down their moveset. They're nowhere near as cool as they were back in Japan or on the indies. And I'm
Right.
like, I understand that, but they're also now working more dates. So you have to be able to do the same thing all the time without getting hurt. And it's all like, guys can dive through the ropes now, without getting hurt almost every day.
Well,
but it's just kind of like, do you really need to see Keith Lee do it every single time?
Not necessarily, and honestly, I don't have much of a problem with, doing the WWE way. I just want his old personality. I want the guy that can, that can talk and be so verbose, and I don't know. It's like,
yeah,
we just want to turn all in Vince's mind, we just want to turn all the big guys into badasses. Don't say much, just pummel. And it's like, that's kind of boring, quite honestly.
Yeah, but Keith's intelligence, it goes over most fans' heads, I
don't think so.
Oh no, it does, and not in the way, and he doesn't do it in the way where like he makes it condescending. So it's kind of difficult because like the person that doesn't understand what he's saying probably doesn't care for him too much. Now I can see what you're saying. Like maybe if they took that portion of him and they channeled it into being more of a Nick Bockwinkel type, then we would really have something there.
Yeah, that's possible. I just, like I said, I want to see more of his personality. And
what do you think about the new music?
Not crazy about it, but it's kind of like the same. It's the same thing. It's just generic, or gotta have the bear growl because it's a bear cat.
It's better than the Sable entrance, right?
I don't know. I'm disappointed, quite honestly. Like I said, now if this is what Keith wants, then all right, more power to him. But I don't know. I'm not crazy about it. So, but yeah, I don't know. And yeah, same thing with Damian Priest. I liked his old music. I mean, it was cool, and his entrance was really cool. And they decided to change it, and it's like, why are you people changing all this crap?
Does he have a different like moniker now?
They just call him Damian Priest.
That's it. No.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm not gonna lie, man. Like Archer Infamy, it sounds great, and they made visual sense of it, but like it just had me question, like, what is he supposed to be then? Like, is he supposed to be like their version of Hawkeye?
I don't know, but I thought it was cool myself. But then again, hey, just turn him back to Punishment Martinez and let it go. I don't know. I just, like I said, I'm not crazy about it.
What's his name in WWE again? Damian Priest.
Damian Priest, yeah, he was
Punishment Priest.
He was Punishment Martinez in Ring of Honor.
I mean, they probably could be Punishment Priest.
Yeah. All right, let's do this last segment. Sports guys talking wrestling on the horn. Stu, Myrick, Justin, the Smash Simmons. I love the Brood.
I was like, I love
that Brood
one.
music.
Classic.
Yeah, for those of you on YouTube and Twitch, you couldn't hear it because I had it muted, but yeah, that Brood music, just awesome. Edge coming out to it that a couple months ago, that was sweet.
Oh, but I'm never going to hate on the Gangrel promo, though, man.
Nah, Gangrel.
That's one of the best comebacks we have.
He is.
I saw him on Dark Side of the Ring.
He was. I was talking about Luna Vachon.
Yeah, that was actually a really good one.
It was a good one. It was a good one. We got some independent wrestling coming up this weekend we got to tell you about, and that'll start with Reality of Wrestling presents ROW Live Saturday at Moody Gardens Hotel Spa and Convention Center in Galveston. Bell time 2 p.m. Will Allday, Brian Keith, Rachel Rose, Izzy James, and more. That's Reality of Wrestling. Saturday in Galveston. And then New Texas Pro Wrestling presents Hocus Pocus. Saturday at the Premier Arena in Houston. Bell time 7 p.m. Gino Medina, T-Ray, Sky De La Cremosa, Roxy, Delilah Doom, and more. That's New Texas Pro Wrestling Saturday in Houston, and that's a look at independent wrestling around the area. Make sure if you get a chance, go out and support independent wrestling.
You got a little time for Pro Wrestler of the Week?
Classic Wrestler of the Week.
All right.
Go.
Since the Muhammad Ali documentary, which you need to see on PBS, came out a couple of weeks ago, he does mention that Gorgeous George was a huge influence. So
Okay.
I went back and I saw this stuff, and I will tweet it out later. I found a great YouTube clip where he's doing flippy stuff in 1950. I'm like legit flippy stuff with his opponent. I found it in this random documentary about him. I will make sure the YouTube mark that link, and so everybody can see what I'm talking about. So flippy stuff has been happening since Gorgeous George's days, but he was really good in the ring too, as well as being such a magnificent promo and character.
All right. Gorgeous George, the classic wrestler of the week, doing flippy stuff back in the 50s.
I was surprised as you were, Stu.
Cool.
Flippy stuff.
We just mentioned Dark Side of the Ring. They had the episode on XPW, which was like the extreme version of ECW.
See, I do
complete
remember
with porno.
that. I do remember all this because this is like
That was-
pure high school for me.
Yeah.
So it was just all like, oh yeah, they were supposed to be more extreme than ECW.
Yeah, interesting stuff. I think the moral of the story is don't challenge the federal government
Shoot, I
because
mean,
they will come down.
well,
and
you
come
had
down
like
hard.
like that one dude had the affair with his boss's wife, and then lost the thumb, and you can't prove it was because of that dude. And then you had New Jack throw that guy Vic Grimes, who he
Yeah.
had like beef with, and he was looking for a time to get revenge. And he even told him on camera, he's like,
Yes.
"I'm going to murder you.
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want in this ring." And he throws him off the scaffold, almost does it.
Yeah.
That's so scary.
Crazy. Anyway, the season finale this Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central on Vice. They will look at the McMahon steroids trial.
Ooh, I wonder who they get for that one.
It'll be interesting.
It's gonna be juicy.
Should be. Yeah, I don't know. As Imperium, the new NXT Tag Team Champions. Oh, we got, all right. So we may have new champions all around. Still got to see Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa. So, football on the Horn this weekend. We got a full slate this weekend after both the Longhorns and Cowboys were off this past weekend. We'll start Friday night. Lake Travis takes on Aikens. It's the last home game of the regular season.
Oh man.
It's senior night, so the seniors will be recognized, senior trainers, all that good stuff. And for all intents and purposes, probably the last tune-up before the Battle of the Lakes. You can catch that pregame at 7:15, kickoff at 7:30 from Cavalier Stadium. Mark Honig, Bucky Godbolt in the booth, and I will be on the sidelines. Hear it on 104.9 FM, part of the ABC Home and Commercial Services High School Football Radio Network.
Good luck to your whole crew. It's gonna be a long
It's
game.
gonna be one of those. Aikens plays hard. They have some good kids. They play hard, but
Hey, I'm not taking anything.
it's gonna be one of those 63 to 7.
Exactly what I was gonna say. I cover Southwestern, and while they give a fine effort, 69-3 last week on the road. That's hard to make sound good.
Yeah, Longhorns Saturday they take on Baylor. Pregame 7 a.m. kickoff 11 a.m. across the Austin Radio Network.
How do you feel about that?
Scared, quite
Still
honestly.
scared?
Yeah, very
Dang.
scared. Sunday night football on NBC. Dallas Cowboys travel to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Kickoff 7:20 p.m. You can hear that on the Horn.
That's
Cowboys
Halloween
5-1
night too.
I know, 5-1
How
Cowboys.
how do you feel about that game?
I think Cowboys could win.
I'm okay with this, man. That offense is looking complete.
Cowboys could win. We'll see. And that's your look at football this weekend on the Horn. And that'll do it for this week's Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. You can follow Justin the Smash Simmons on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at The Smash Simmons. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Stu Myrick. That's STEWMYRICK. You can follow the show on Twitter and Twitch at SGTWATX. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. We live stream on YouTube and Twitch Tuesday nights, 7:30 p.m. Central. You can also catch us Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Central on the flagship station for the Texas Longhorns and your radio home in Austin for the Dallas Cowboys. We are The Horn, 104.9 and 101.9 FM and AM 1260. You can catch us anytime on demand by either going to hornfm.com and click on the on-air tab, or by subscribing to us on your favorite podcast provider. Make sure you rate and review us while you're there. For Justin, I'm Stu. Thank you so much for giving us some of your time tonight. Have a great week. Have a happy Halloween. And we will see you at the matches.
Goodbye and good night. Bang!
And there we go. All right, we got the main event.
I know, just in time for the main
Braun
event.
Breaker.
Hey, but even Shawn Michaels came out and said, like, oh, he definitely has all the genes from
Oh, yeah.
both his dad and his uncle, and
Oh,
like
yeah.
this kid is complete.
Well,
and-
yeah, he's built like his dad. He sounds like it. He sounds like Scott.
yeah. I mean, he's just super athletic too. I mean, this guy is the real deal, and I'm a fan already. Like he looks like he's
I'll
going to
be
be the
honest,
next big thing.
I would be surprised if he stays in NXT very long.
That's the other thing too. But it's just kind of like, man, do you already want to put
I
him?
mean,
to
how
the-
green? Well, that's the thing. How green is he? You know
You know where he needs to go to.
where?
He needs to be teamed up with Otis and Gable.
Alpha
and,
Academy.
and make them legit. You know, like turn them from like this little thing where Gable's trying to make Otis and be like, nah, this is how you do it. And then once he gets those guys over, he'll definitely be over.
I don't know. I don't know if you do that or if you just make him.
Because what other than that,
And
I
you
mean,
not to mention, now you've taken the belts off some of the old guard.
yeah.
I mean, if pattern serves, we're going to take the belt off of Ciampa. So then what happens? What happens to Ciampa? What happens? Dude, check out Ciampa.
Yeah, he came out dressed out as Kronos from God of War on the PlayStation.
Okay, good. I'm glad you. I thought it was like almost. It looked like the Lost Viking Raider.
Oh, yeah,
I was
that's
looking for
good
Eric and
too.
Ivar.
That's good too. Yeah, no, he's supposed to be the guy from God of War, but yeah, that would have worked also because he has the tattoo in the back.
But yeah,
That's an awesome looking costume though.
yeah, it is.
It's all like it looks like real leather.
Yeah, it's got to be real leather. I mean, he's got his name
Yeah.
stamped on the front there.
At least definitely that part. Like I can see where the loincloth and stuff is just
Yeah.
like wrestling fabric, but
But he's got the paint like
the
like
character.
Eric and Ivar
well,
or Rowan Hansen. Let's see, what time is it? 8:45. So this will probably go about 10 to 12.
Yeah. You know what I like about Braun Breaker is that he's bringing back the look of macho guys looking like tough in bright colors. That's an art that's been lost
Yeah, I guess.
for a long time.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, Mojo Riley tried to
I
bring it back.
I wonder. The other thing I'm thinking is once this happens, I wonder if they'll change the belts.
Oh, new belt. new
Yeah,
look.
because they've still got the old logo.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they'll go with new belts.
New color schemes and
Yeah.
stuff too. It makes sense, but no offense, that dude passed away recently, so it's like, oh, who's making the belts
Reggie
now?
Parks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Whatever they called it, where he was like the maker of sports entertainment hardware.
Oh, he made all the big belts. Yeah.
Oh, I know, but they just didn't use the word belts even in their own article when they played tribute to him. I was like, yeah, what do you make? Titles? Title what? Just titles.
Makes championships.
Oh yes, he made championships.
Championships.
Waist suspenders.
That's funny. That is funny right there.
I mean, but you feel this is going to be like the title change too, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking it is. I mean, you see what they've done so far tonight.
Oh yeah, everybody's been.
You've had because the odds I saw they had, and there was odds from Bet Online that had everybody except MSK losing titles.
And then MSK lost the titles.
Yeah, and they lost them too. So
But
I'm thinking, this could be, it would surprise me if Ciampa retains.
Now, the one thing that I will say about MSK losing the titles is that they lost them to Imperium.
True.
So it doesn't.
So it wasn't so much a
New person.
Yeah, it wasn't new. It was Imperium, who's been around for a while.
And I can understand where maybe they'll get a rematch, for that.
Yeah, they'll probably get a rematch. I wonder if that. Well, but kickers. I wonder if they plan to send them to the main roster.
Why not? Right? They need tag teams.
It wouldn't hurt.
But they always break them up at the end. So
That's
we'll
true.
see. But I mean, they're really trying to push to the nice move.
Very nice move.
Man, he's just super strong. I mean, I know Ciampa's not the biggest dude, but this guy just, come on, man. He just power cleaned him off of the ground, no big deal. That's crazy. What was I going to tell you though? Oh yeah, because they're really pushing the whole Dirty Dogs thing.
Yeah. Although I'm surprised. Were you surprised that Dirty Dogs didn't win the tag titles?
Kind of, honestly, yeah.
I was too, a little bit.
Because it looks like they could, they would be entertaining together, honestly.
I mean, I can see where they think Orton and Riddle, they're not done with that just yet. But I don't know. It just felt like that was a...
Yeah, you wonder how much longer that Randy Orton can just kind of fake this disdain. Okay, you're still not cool with him yet, even though you guys have been holding the titles for so long now.
Well, it's more like he tolerates them really well. I mean, they've, I don't know. It's complicated, I guess.
After all these months.
After all these months, I slide.
Woo!
See, that's
a lot of strength right there. He didn't even catch him right, and he was still able to put him down in the right spot. That's crazy. He only caught him by a leg. I mean, this kid's legit. I mean, the one thing I wish he could do.
There's a row of fans in the stands. I guess they're behind commentary, wearing the Nexus T-shirts.
Oh, for real? Ah, how funny.
And you got Wade Barrett there on commentary, so that was a pretty good entrance theme.
What, Nexus?
We walk alone.
Yeah, different time, man. All their music was so similar back then.
It was a little bit, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that was just the post, what is it called? New metal? And new metal?
Something like that.
It was right after post Limp Bizkit, but the hard sound was still in with primarily the WWE crowd.
Yeah.
Stained.
Oh, Ciampa's pulling up the mat. We got chicanery afoot.
That looks like a really nice mat. Well padded. So in that boxing match, I sit ringside, obviously. So I was I was watching them set up the ring for that, and it's just like a wrestling ring, right? They put down the wooden slats underneath.
Right.
They put a mat over it, and then they put the canvas over it. And I'm just thinking, okay, there's no spring underneath this thing, so it has no give.
Right.
And I'm just thinking, wow, WWE wrestlers from the 60s, 50s through the late 90s. After I think Mick Foley took the big bump, they changed rings to where they weren't boxing rings anymore. His rings used to be super stiff. So I'm oh man, guys were taking bumps on stuff like this,
Well,
and I'm just hitting it.
Most of the independent rings, though, they don't have spring underneath.
I was gonna say all the ones I've seen do. There's always a spring in the middle.
Huh.
That's where you get that give to it.
Maybe I did. Maybe I don't know. It just seemed like I didn't when Inspire. I never saw spring, but maybe I just missed it. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's the first. It's the thing that holds the two cross pieces together when you set up the ring.
Oh, that's right.
But then
okay,
and
never
then you
mind.
put the slats over it. So
Yeah.
that's why you get at least a little give. Now some have some springs are tighter than others, but this has nothing underneath it, so it's just a rock. And I'm I was just thinking yo, Mick Foley went through this type of ring.
No kidding.
And I was like, oh man, I can't imagine getting dropped from Undertaker height on this thing. You know, and I'm just like, man, those guys really earned their money back then.
Mm-hmm. Well, they did. They certainly did. So.
Notice he did a lot of crossover with this Chucky movie tonight.
Well, they had Chucky introing some of the stuff on NXT.
Oh, but it's a series now, right?
Yeah, it's a series.
Okay. I mean, nostalgia's back, and I mean, Stranger Things did well.
I
so
guess.
I can see that working.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, you do wonder what USA is going to become now that they're getting rid of a NBC Sports Network. You figure that they'll just have more sports or more sports entertainment on it.
That's the funny thing because, so I thought NBC Sports Network was going away in September.
Yeah, it was supposed to dissolve a while back,
but it hasn't.
I know. I'm perplexed like you. I think it's just because they haven't been able to roll out this Peacock thing as smoothly as they wanted to.
Maybe,
because
I mean,
know. There's always WWE issues for the pay-per-views more than although I didn't hear of any this time.
I didn't hear of any.
But it's like how many people were actually trying to watch, during the day live, because it was in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah, it was in the middle. Yeah, I had to go. For the fourth time in the last 19 months, I had to go to the office because I had to get a new laptop.
Oh,
so
okay.
I had to take my laptop so they could transfer everything. So while they're working, I gave them my new laptop. So I took I just took my iPad, hooked it up, connected my phone, and I watched it while I was sitting in the office.
You were watching Crown Jewel. How hilarious!
Yeah.
Hey, at least that's the one time it's nice to have big time event on during the middle of the day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So. God. And now here we go, belly to belly.
Love that belly to belly. I mean, you can't be a Steiner and not have a belly to belly in your arsenal, right?
Oh, of course. Heck, you should be doing multiple suplexes, belly to belly, belly to back, Germans.
What happened?
Oh, he slipped.
Did he slip for real?
I think he did.
It looked like he slipped on purpose, though. I don't know, man. I mean, he was even on the fat ropes too.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Because I was going to say that's Brett's
We'll
rope.
hear from Andrew Zarian or Alvarez or somebody whether that was a authentic slip or planned.
Are they going to do it again? Because this is just. Oh, okay. I was going to say they just went into that a little while ago.
Yeah. Yeah, you wonder how much, I can't imagine they call it in the ring.
Well, I mean, when you got an audible, you got an audible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, that
nice
looked
CDT.
That looked like it hurt.
Yep. 1, 2, kick out.
I was wondering, storyline wise, why would they didn't show the fall, so I'm just kind of like, ooh, was it not planned? Because you would think they would give us a replay.
I'm thinking it was he was just, it was a authentic. He just slipped on the rope. I mean, ropes get moist.
Oh, I know. But you see, he's standing on the thick ones on the second rope, and I understand that third rope is just regular rope. It's not
it's not a cable.
Yeah, but even then, I'm quite perplexed by that.
Yeah. So.
What? Did he just give us a little dog phrase?
Hook the leg. Count of 1. I gotta get ready. Not this weekend, but next weekend. Got to call the.
Oh, Frankensteiner! He did it from the ground. Didn't even touch him.
And underhook.
There's the suplex.
Slam. Hook the leg. 1, 2.
I was like, that can't be his finish. But dang, that was nice. Where are you going now?
I got the Rhodes Wrestling Academy Showcase. Number 3. Next weekend.
You already know who his big prospects are out of this one?
I've seen the promo videos. I need to go by there probably Saturday and look at them. I need to get have them choose their entrance music. Outside of we've got some returning people, so I've got theirs. So I'll have to get the rest of them, get their entrance music.
That's what I was going to ask. Was like, oh yeah,
because they're going to do. So he's doing a women's championship, and he's bringing back Shauna Reed from the first class. So she'll wrestle somebody for that. I would suspect Lucas Chase will come in to defend the RWA championship against somebody. And then Chad Lennox has got a match, and James Holiday from the first class has a match. So
that's cool.
I know one of the guys, El Rayo, who's at APW.
Mm-hmm.
I know him, kind of like I knew Zach, or Zachariah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot that he pulled this up, and we haven't seen.
58.
It's like
you got about 2-3 minutes.
You just figure somebody's going to take a fall on this concrete. Oh my god, that's hard to fake. I'm telling you. Oh, I hope he's okay. I was gonna say
you got to get him back in the ring. That's the problem. I mean, it's all fine and good to have something like that out of the ring, but
well, I was gonna say Ciampa doesn't have to, right? He's the champ.
No, he could just take the count out victory.
Unless, because she was counting, and I was like,
turn up just a hair.
Oh, now he's making fun of him.
Boom. Oh, look, Breaker's busted open. 2. No.
Oh, he's still kicked out.
And he kicked out. Got about a minute or 2 left.
Okay, so he definitely bladed because of where the cut is.
Yeah. That was probably a blade job.
Oh, what's his finish? The knee?
I guess it's the knee. He's doing the knee.
Ooh. Is he supposed to catch it now? That's what usually happens on the third go.
Boom.
Never mind. I guess he's
3
done.
knees. Picks him up.
I mean, can you imagine if
the
Breaker
leg
doesn't
again.
win this? He might not win this.
1. All right, so Ciampa's still the champion.
Wow.
Okay, so that's the one. So the one title that did not change.
Wow. I was not expecting that. I mean, good match, though. Good match.
Was a good match.
Definitely pay-per-view quality match.
Yeah.
But, wow. I thought for sure Braun Breaker.
Right.
Once he kicked out of the first one, I'm like, oh, he's going to kick out.
Yeah, I thought so too. But, oh, well, there you go.
I guess you can't give the kid
Tommaso Ciampa still the NXT champion. All right, we're going to get out of here. Thanks, everybody that joined us. Have a great week. Happy Halloween.